What's good, y'all? It's Prince J. Welcome back to the channel. We are going to go over a couple of brief news stories that just popped up this week. Not too many. There's a lot of things that were covered this week by a bunch of other channels. But these are the things that are, I would say, they're most important to me personally. The things I'm excited about or have my own personal thoughts about in general. So let's hop in here. We got our first look at Kratos and Atreus in Amazon Prime's upcoming God of War TV series. I like the look overall. I love how faithful the body paint and the leather straps and everything around his body are pretty faithful to the 2018 God of War and the 2021 Ragnarok. But I also feel like this looks a little too clean. Do you know what I mean? Like, Kratos is a little bit too clean. Atreus looks dirtier than Kratos does. And I'm not talking shit on this kid. I think he looks like he's going to be a great actor. I hope. He looks like he has a lot of ability with his face from what I've seen in other pictures as well. Like, he seems to emote very well. We'll see how he does as Atreus. But I just don't... This is not the picture or the frame that I would have chosen to show off God of War for the very first time. I get that they're trying to appeal to people who don't know what God of War is at all. They're just like, what the hell is like a barbarian and his kid, or a barbarian finds a kid? What is this? I get it. It's an interesting shot because it's a guy who looks like some type of warrior showing a kid how to shoot a bow and arrow. So that's immediately going to be intriguing to an audience that has nothing to do with God of War and has no history with it whatsoever. So I get why they did this, but personally I would have chosen something much more visceral, a little bit, I'm not going to say grittier necessarily, but something that was a little bit more God of War, man. Like this, the relationship between Atreus and Kratos is amazing in the games. But I don't think I would have started with that for the TV series. I think if for showing off the TV series, not saying that they shouldn't show that in the trailer, but for a first look image, I don't know. I give this probably like a 70 at least, maybe even like a 60. The man who plays Kratos looks like Kratos for the most part. I think you can put anybody in white makeup, shave their head, if they have a decent face and they can grow a beard well enough, or they can put on a prosthetic beard, you can be Kratos. This guy actually played Loki in the video game. Not Loki, excuse me. Forgive me. That's a spoiler for something else, actually. But he plays Thor in the video game in Ragnarok. So that's interesting, too. He does a great job as Thor. So I'm interested to see how he does as Kratos. Atreus looks good. Like he has like his little fur and everything on. The bow and arrow looks good. I don't know. This haircut, it looks okay, but I kind of feel like I wish that it had gone a little bit more like shaven on the sides of the head, like in the game. I don't know. I just feel like it looks a little bit more like foreign and more interesting to me. This looks a little bit too modern of a haircut. But hey, we'll see, man. I don't want to judge too hard. And what I'm seeing so far, when God of War 2018 opens up with the tree and everything, I'm sure this is a bit of an homage to that as well, and trying to stir up old feelings for people who actually played the game. But we'll see. We'll see. I have high hopes for this. I definitely want to watch it. Whenever I play the game, my wife always wants to watch me play the game because she loves the way the story looks and unfolds. So this is something to look forward to, at least. Maybe the narrative will be even better than I hope. Or not better than I hope. I hope this is good. But be better than people are expecting, I hope. All right, let's check out the next thing. We got Max Landis, y'all, is coming back. He is going to be writing the new G.I. Joe movie. Wow. I like Max Landis' writing for the most part. I think it's always been pretty interesting. I like how he kind of likes to deconstruct things. and not quite in the way that, I don't know. Some people would probably try to compare him to somebody like Adi Shankar, who deconstructs series like Castlevania, the game, and to the TV series on Netflix. And also, he did Devil May Cry recently, which had pretty mixed reception. Overall, I thought it was okay. It had a lot of things in it that I was like, what? Why the hell would he do that? Dante, that's not Dante. That's not Lady. That's not... He changed a lot about the characters. So he kind of does his own thing. He's all about doing his own bootleg universe with everything. And I applaud him for that, man. He's able to pull it off. I know a lot of people might complain about it, say, oh, this sucks, this ruins the franchise. It really doesn't, because it's just one aspect of something that's much larger if you're a fan of these games or these movies or these franchises as a whole. I understand that the properties that they're putting out might be the first time people see certain things, but overall, it's not going to put a huge dent in the franchise. Dragon Ball Evolution didn't stop people from watching Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z. Just take that as one example. Okay, so he's also got Danny McBride working with him on this script, apparently. Danny McBride, the comedian and actor. Yes, the man from the Righteous Gemstones. We also know Max Landis also wrote the movie Chronicle. I want to say that was back in 2010 or 11, man. I can't believe it's been that long. No, Chronicle can't be that old. It has to be like 2015 or something. But he wrote Chronicle. He wrote Bright, which I thought had some interesting ideas in it, but ultimately kind of fell... I don't know. I don't want to say it fell flat. It was interesting and it was beautiful to look at visually, I thought. But overall, I just kind of didn't feel like it was fleshed out as much as it could have been. I don't know if I would have liked a sequel to that movie or not. I really don't. He was going for Lord of the Rings, but in modern day times, and kind of like, what if the world of Lord of the Rings modernized all the way up to this century? Like, imagine Lord of the Rings was actually like maybe 30 million years ago or something, and everything's evolved. So orcs are still around, but they have their own culture. They're outcasts. Humans have like a prejudice. It was interesting. Like, a lot of the ideas were interesting. So I think Max Landis is a decent writer. I've liked his work in the past. I have no real qualms with him when it comes to that. Even American Ultra had some interesting ideas in it. I felt like it was kind of boring for the most part. No, can I say boring about American Ultra? I don't want to say it was boring. It just wasn't the movie that I was really expecting for some reason. And it was marketed pretty hard, man. So let's see what he does with G.I. Joe. He seems to like teams, like with when you see Chronicle, and he likes to deconstruct teams like Power Rangers or something. Like he'd be the person besides Adi Shankar to make like a dark Power Rangers, I believe, or a dark superhero movie in general. That's kind of where he kind of lives. He likes to make really interesting but fucked up versions of franchises that we like, which is kind of cool, actually. I got to commend him for that. So what he's going to do with G.I. Joe, I have no idea. Also, let it be known that the Transformers G.I. Joe movie is with Anthony, what's his name, man? Anthony Ramos. That movie's still going forward, apparently. So this is a completely separate project. This is just G.I. Joe. So let's see where this turns out. I'm looking forward to it. I like G.I. Joe. I actually enjoyed not Rise of Cobra very much, but I really, really liked Retribution. I thought that one was pretty fun. It was ridiculous and over the top, but it's G.I. Joe, man. It's G.I. Joe. It's supposed to be ridiculous and over the top. Okay, what's next here? All right, we got our first look at Pokemon's 10th generation. Let's check it out here real quick. Again, I know some of you guys have probably already seen it. When I first saw this, I was like, what the hell? Are they going realistic or what? I think what this is actually just Game Freak's new kind of intro. As opposed to just saying like Game Freak, it'll probably have something like this pop up from now on. Just like when you see a logo pop up for a game company like Bandai Namco, Gambarion, you know, Spike Chunsoft, anything like that. This is Nintendo's little intro movie for, or not Nintendo, but Game Freak's new little intro movie, most likely. It's pretty long. It also just could be for the 30th anniversary. But the way they really played it up with like the little Pikachu and like whoever, you know, who's going to show up in a second, some of us. This was so weird to see, like very weird. It's cute and all, but it was just like, what? Is this the unveiling of the game, or is this, what is this? And like I said, I think it's the logo. That's all. I think it's like their new intro for their games. Here we go. Now, I didn't notice this quite at first, but I think this game is going to be very, very, very large. Like, larger than I think a lot of us are expecting. It's beautiful. I like the graphics. I'm still a little bit like, man, they could have gone a little bit more. But I really think this world's going to be enormous. So it might make a little bit more sense. Pikachu and the Pokeballs, they honestly kind of look the same as they did on the Switch. Even though characters walking around. Aside from a lot of the textures and the water effects. Lighting looks really, really good. But I don't know. I was kind of like, at the same time. I love the new Pokemon. I think his name's Pom Pom. Like, I definitely want to try him. He looks fun. Brout. Pombon. That's his name. Gekwa. The water looks really good, though. And I wonder if you can go somewhere in the sky. I see a little something going on in the background there. Or it might just be an homage to like a Lapras or something, but still. And are you going to be able to go underwater in this one? That's another question. I definitely think you're going to have some type of traversal where you go across the land, like Winds and Waves. It just kind of brings them to my mind the idea of boats, cruises, you know. It looks beautiful. It definitely seems like they used a lot of the tech they used in Zelda. Or took a lot of the lessons from that. But yeah, that was great. I'm excited about it. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it looks good. I don't know if it's something that I'm going to really like go out of my way to like pick up immediately. But I'm definitely looking forward to the next Pokemon. I haven't really been into Pokemon for a long, long time. I've played it on and off here and there, like in the past, like 6 years, 5 years or so, with Sword and Shield. I don't think I even have a Scarlet and Violet. I don't think I ever even picked those up. I stuck to Sword and Shield, and I also got Diamond and Pearl remake. I think it was just Diamond. I got the Diamond one. And I like Pokemon. I'm just not like a gigantic fan of it. So let's move on to the next story, guys. Here we go. We got Mortal Kombat 2, official trailer number 2. Let's check it out.
You want to know what makes a hero? It's not destiny.
I love Carl Urban, man. I think he's a great actor. I just think he's not Johnny Cage.
Something you're born with. It's searching for greatness.
Quan Chi.
You have been chosen for Mortal Kombat. Then realizing you've had it in you this entire time.
Like, he's supposed to end up with Sonya. Which could still happen.
Don't worry. You won't.
I really like that moment. That was pretty cool.
Send me back. I want to go back.
The acting's going to be good, for him at least.
Our fates would not be settled by the size of our army.
Shao Kahn.
It would be decided
And it looks way better than the first one,
by combat.
for the most part.
I'm not some great warrior. I'm not some champion.
Liu Kang's red outfit looks weird to me.
For the faith of your word.
They could have done a better shot for Jax there. Hitting a staff and not even breaking it. Come on. They could have done. Don't do Jax dirty in this movie, y'all. So Kano loses an eye.
We do not kneel.
Ooh, Raiden.
Together. Let's go, baby. Johnny Cage, are part of this now.
I hope these fights are good, man.
It's showtime.
The first one had some okay fights, but I really wanted to have my mind blown, dude. I still feel like the fights in the OG Mortal Kombat in 1995 were pretty awesome, man. Scorpion versus Johnny Cage.
Definitely die.
Like I was saying, Scorpion versus Johnny Cage. You had Liu Kang versus Reptile, probably my favorite fight. Let's see what else you had. Those are like the two fights that stood out to me the most in that movie. Oh, Johnny Cage versus Goro, definitely. Almost forgot. Even the Goro versus Art fight, Art Lean. He was an original character made for the movie. He was Johnny Cage's friend and kind of a friend of the trio in the film for a short period of time. And anything with Raiden in the movie, with Christopher Lambert's Raiden was fucking awesome. I love that movie, man. It's these movies are never going to touch that as far as like having that place in my heart. But I still like the first Mortal Kombat. I thought it was fun. It was lacking in a lot of areas, but I feel that they had some heart in there too still. So we'll see how this second one turns out. All right, let's check out this. We got a very happy to see this come back. This is kind of a surprise, personally, I think. I watched Evangelion when I was in college, back around 2006, between like 2005 and 2007. I watched Evangelion all the way through, and I think I was able to see the very first of the remake movies, which is crazy that movie came out that long ago. That Evangelion 1.11, that came out a long time ago. That was like, whoo, that blows my mind still that it's that old. And I loved it. I loved Evangelion. I thought it was very interesting. I thought it was really like fucked up and dark, very psychological. You really dive deep into these characters' minds. And I also felt that it was a little bit too much. Like it was like overload, like power lines everywhere, tanks everywhere. And I know Hideaki Anno, he struggles with like depression, and he's like he said he's actually autism. So it's understandable there are things in there like that could, show like repeating patterns and stuff like that. And I get it's like when it is overload, it's overload with everything, even the action. So in those moments, that's when it kind of pays off. It's when everything is kind of still. It's like, man, there's so much going on in the frame, even if it's not moving. But it's so cool. It's such a cool series to like watch and indulge in. But it could also, the ending was pretty damn dark, the original ending, which is why he ended up remaking it years later, because he received a lot of death threats about the ending, the original ending. He himself went into a really deep depression that he's talked about many times. There's quite a few YouTube videos you can find about him going through that period of time. He's been open about it, and he also had a really beautiful time in his life where he was invited to teach a class for like a week or so, how to draw in how to animate. So I thought that was just really just how to animate. I thought that was really cool. You can find that on YouTube. It's got subtitles in English and everything. So I'm interested to see what's going to go on with this new Evangelion, because apparently Yoko Taro, who is the creator of the Nier series, Nier, most people know of from Nier Automata, that entry in the series. He's actually working on this as well. So let's take a look at our first look at the brand new Evangelion that we might get our first look at come next year. Okay. I love Chainsaw Man too. Okay, next thing we have coming up, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. I thought this game trailer looked really, really cool, man. They really captured a lot of the old late 90s feel, mid 90s feel, I guess I should say more. And this looks great. Let's take a look. Dig it, dig it. A little fan servicey. If you know, you know. I'm catching a couple things. Definitely inspired by Golden Axe, and I also think some of Capcom stuff as well. They did a great job with the pixel art. Really, really nice. This is something I would play in the arcades if it was back in the day. All right. Looking forward to that. Oh, this was pretty cool news, man. For somebody like me who loves old Guitar Hero. The company behind what we most really remember for Guitar Hero 3 was around the time when Red Octane, I think, came around. They had changed a lot of the staff from Harmonix back in that time, and they created their own company called Red Octane Games. So we haven't had a Guitar Hero in years, man. Rock Band, we got all the way up to Rock Band 4 with Harmonix still. But Guitar Hero has been out of the picture for a long time. So looks like we're about to have a revival called Stage Tour. This is going to have music from several different bands. They haven't announced any of the music just yet, but let's take a look at the trailer. Oh, hold on. We'll go back. That's a good logo. I like that. Game Freak, take note. Shorten that shit. Got the whammy bar, everything. And what's cool is it's not just one instrument. You got several instruments. You got drums. You got bass guitar still. This is like a full-on revival of the rhythm genre for America, at least. Look at that. That's a Guitar Hero. That is Guitar Hero, man. Hell yes. I kind of wish they'd just call it Guitar Hero Stage Tour. That'd be cooler, because I really do not like the name Stage Tour. I think that is such a lame name. They could have done so much better. They could have done better with the name. And hey, they still got time. It's not finished yet. But no, I did not like that they called it Stage Tour. Let's see but it looks great. It looks awesome. Stage Tour is not just a game. It's a long-term platform created in conjunction with the community, a home for music-loving gamers. Stage Tour features new instruments, controller, and keyboard compatibility, and deep gameplay mechanics. excuse me, with note charts optimized depending on the type of instrument or controller used. Nice. So it kind of tailors itself to whatever controller you're playing with. Following the classic gaming recipe of easy to play, hard to master. Nice. Guitar Hero is like that very much. Stage Tour is highly accessible for newcomers while delivering an ever-evolving challenge for experienced gamers. All right. Look at that. That is Guitar Hero, man. Kind of want a little more going on the stage. Like, give me some graphics behind there. Where's the fire and shit, man? Like in Guitar Hero, and even in Rock Band. I feel like Rock Band's environments were a little dull until they started to get people like Metallica and stuff involved, like all the crossovers. That was cool. Okay, further gameplay details, blah, blah, blah. Oh, say they're going to be alpha testing this summer. I think a lot of people have already been testing this game, though. So we don't really know when it's going to be released. I feel like they're shooting for like 2026, 2027 for sure. Stage Tour is a little bit from the developers. Stage Tour is our love letter to rhythm gaming, said Simon Ebinger, head of studio at Red Octane Games. We want Stage Tour to feel authentic and familiar, or familiar and authentic, but also fresh, utilizing modern technology to connect gamers with the music they love and enjoying a platform that evolves and grows over time. With new instruments and deep charting systems, we're raising the bar on what we believe a rhythm game can be, while also catering to those wishing to simply enjoy a casual experience and have a good time. That's nice. I like it. Very much in the spirit of Guitar Hero from the sounds of it as well. Nothing else really. They partnered with Gibson so they could do the guitar controllers. Pretty cool, man. Nothing really like mind-blowing yet as far as news is concerned right there. But that's an exciting development. I'm definitely looking forward to some more Guitar Hero. This franchise I've definitely missed over the years. Especially since we don't really have rhythm action games over here anymore. Sadly, right? Over in Japan, they have so many different things still, like gitaru, and all these things. Or gitadora, excuse me. But let's move on. We got some more Invincible gameplay. We have a new character unveiled this weekend. Powerplex. Ouch.
I'm looking for Invincible.
They did a good job of combining the comic versions of these characters with the animated series. There's a very subtle blend, if you're a fan of both, that you can kind of tell. For example, Adam Eve mostly actually looks just like her comic book counterpart, but she has the shorts of the cartoon or animated series. I like how their clothes get ripped and stuff. That's cool. I know they get bloodied, but I haven't really seen how much destruction gets caused on them. I think Powerplex is going to be fun to play, man. I'm excited to see how he plays the game. I really want to play this game. Very much looking forward to that. When is that coming out, man? Let's see. April 30th. Dude, all right. Okay, we got like about a little bit over a month. All right. We have our last thing we're going to take a look at today, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone. Something I'm pretty excited for. There's one thing that it's in this that I wish they'd have included, but I'm excited for it nonetheless. Let's check out Marvel Maximum Collection. For you guys who have already seen this, you know what I'm probably most excited for. And what you guys are excited for is one big game in here. One big game. This one. I think when a lot of people saw this, they were like, oh, shit. And hey, a lot of people have been playing this on emulators and stuff for years, but it's really nice to be able to play it officially on the big screen easily. No having to hook up a computer monitor and anything. And Captain America and the Avengers, even better, man. I actually forgot about that one until I just saw it just now again. So the game I was hoping they included, but just not in here, unfortunately, is Spider-Man, the arcade game, which had this really interesting, like, scaling effect. If you remember from the arcade, it was really cool. It looks kind of like the Spider-Man Maximum Carnage game you're seeing right here, but it was a little bit, the sprites were a little bit more detailed, a little bit taller. Those games right here actually definitely took inspiration from it. You had the onomatopoeias and stuff flying everywhere. Beautiful. I had X-Men, I think it was called Spider-Man and Wolverine Arcade's Revenge or something like that. I had that one on Super Nintendo. That one was pretty fun. I didn't really get it, though. You're like playing a bunch of different characters, but I didn't understand the overall story that much. Or I probably didn't click with it. I was really little when I was playing that one. All right, guys. That is pretty much it. I'm so happy you guys joined me. Thank you so much. Definitely looking forward to this and so many more games that we have coming out later on this year and in the years beyond. So thank you guys once again for joining me. This has been Prince J. So until next time, signing out.